Hello, welcome to the Citrus Garden. If you're new here, my name is Christina. If you're not new here, hi, welcome back. It's great to see you. This is a reading for Libra, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or if you have significant Libra placements and are needing a message for today, there may be one in here for you. So Libra, let's get started with your reading. There's an energy here of not getting caught up in other people's games. That's how it's coming through. Okay, hollow bone teachability. The universe is wanting to teach you something. There's a significant lesson here. Be open to it. This card also talks about humility. I feel like there's a series of tasks is just how it's coming through that you are being asked to learn in order to prepare you for a larger goal. That's how it's coming through. So it's kind of feeling like because this sort of flute or instrument is looking to me almost like an elevator, like you got to climb up the levels. So it's kind of like maybe starting off small with whatever it is that you are being asked to do and slowly working yourself up to some sort of like bigger task or something like that. Be humble. There are things here for you to learn. That's how it's coming through. And be open to it. Don't be afraid of mistakes, because I feel like the mistakes are going to show you, because making a mistake obviously can be very humbling. Showing you what you don't know, right? That's how it's coming through. So it's feeling like there's something that you're learning here. It might be humbling because it's revealing something that you don't know or that you need to learn. Just be open to it. It's all part of the process. And if like it, because it's kind of coming through as being like maybe you've been choosing things that are too easy, Libra. Like, because it's kind of feeling like choosing things that you know will be easy, or that like that there's no challenge, there's no risk, there's no mistakes, right? It's like choosing things that you know will be something that you're familiar with, so that it doesn't challenge you too much, so that there's no mistakes and you feel good about yourself, right? Those could be good as like confidence builders. But I feel like there's something here about like the universe wants to challenge you to grow in some way. And so that involves doing things that are going to involve mistakes, or that are going to be more challenging to you, that are not very easy, but are very fulfilling and worth it. That's how it's coming through. So it's like, don't be afraid of the challenges either. I knew this card was going to come out because I was feeling drawn to wear this jacket thing, and it reminds me of this card just because of the like little splashes of color and light. Okay, I'm going to read that card. The mouse. That's this energy of like choosing things that are easy, right? Like choosing things that are easy, that you know are going to be successful in some way, but it's not really challenging. Anyways, I'm going to read the description for the mouse. Detail-oriented, small-minded, nitpicky, nervous. The mouse has an innate desire to tend to the details. It often spends its days fixing, preparing, organizing, and scrutinizing. Unfortunately, a mouse personality doesn't notice when they've gone too far. Soon they begin to have a limited and fearful vision of life and try to control every detail. This can be quite a painful experience for both the mouse and those around them. When mouse energy is at play, step back for a moment. It may be time to find a more purposeful project to delve into, one that is worthy of your exacting eye. Yeah. So, when in balance, organized, resourceful, prepared. When out of balance, busy with no purpose. To bring into balance a meaningful project. Yeah. Because it kind of feels like doing like sort of small things that like make you feel productive, but maybe aren't like that fulfilling. It's kind of just like doing busy work just to keep yourself occupied with something. So it's kind of coming through as being like Libra. Maybe there is a bigger project, a more meaningful project that you're being asked to sort of take on. But I feel like with that energy, it's kind of like it's like you have, maybe that project feels too big is actually how it's coming through, where it's like it feels too intimidating, especially because this mouse energy is coming through, where it's like feeling fearful of a bigger sort of vision, maybe, because it kind of feels like whatever this like big meaningful project is, it might have like multiple steps to it, or it might have a lot of like it's a big process, it's a big commitment, it's a big investment perhaps, but it's coming through as being like you can tackle it one level at a time. Each level or each step is going to bring you closer to the bigger goal. So it's kind of like wanting you to refocus your energy onto something that is not like meant to just keep you busy, but also is going to be meaningful. It's wanting to use your skills towards something that's like very like big picture. That's the thing though. It's wanting to be more big picture. But there might be a little bit of fear about that because the mouse coming through is sort of like wanting to be it's like it's coming out with a bit with the raccoon, which is kind of, because the raccoon in this deck talks about like wanting to sort of stay in the shadows, an inner artist that's hidden. This feels not so much like you're trying to hide, but it's kind of like you're not seeing the bigger picture, perhaps because it's like you're wanting to play small. That's actually how it's coming through, like preferring to just sort of like deal with little things or like little projects or like things that are keeping you busy, but are not contributing necessarily to the bigger picture of something. I feel like you are headed in that direction though. There is also here a difference between playing small and being humble, right? There is a difference between that. Maybe you are navigating that line, because being humble doesn't mean playing small. Being humble doesn't mean allowing other people to step all over you, right? Being humble doesn't mean being hard on yourself. There is a difference. So maybe you are being a bit hard on yourself. Maybe you're building up confidence to do something. Being humble also includes recognizing what you're good at and recognizing where you can improve, right? So there is this energy, especially with the mouse, that's sort of like nitpicky and detail oriented, like not wanting to make a mistake, right? I feel like mouse energy can come through as being like trying to make things perfect, or trying to make sure that everything's like perfect and proper, and like that there's no mistakes and that kind of thing. But it keeps you sort of focused on the small when it's like there's a bigger picture. Okay, what is the universe trying to show you? I'm seeing the unicorn in my mind's eye. That card has been coming out a lot. Okay, Firefly. Interesting. With these little like sparks of light. Interesting. But this is another small, quote unquote, small energy. Dolphin at the bottom of the deck. That's very interesting because it's almost like the universe is trying to show you something in the splashes of color. Is this, because it's almost like all of these little things are fireflies. That's so interesting. Okay, I'm gonna read the Firefly. Firefly is air. It's air, but it's also fire. Okay. Inspired and fantastic, yet fleeting. The firefly contains the light of 1,000 stars. It's pure, radiant, and illuminating. This high-frequency charge cannot be sustained for long. Therefore, the Firefly card indicates a moment of inspiration or awakening that quickly fades if we do not catch it. There is firefly energy behind every poem, song, and invention. Our job is to be ready to harness this creative spirit when it graces our path. What can you do to support this precious and elusive light? So when in balance, writes, creates, brainstorms. When out of balance, burnt out, feels dull. When bring into balance, write a poem or draw. So I feel like there's something about inspiration coming through for you. Like having sort of like moments of inspiration and being ready for it. But maybe it's something where it's like you're not trusting that. Like you're not trusting the moments of inspiration. Like when you feel inspired to do something, to like act on it, right? Because those moments are fleeting. It's maybe coming through as being like, maybe you're waiting too long, Libra, to do something, or you're having trouble sort of making decisions on the firefly energy. Because maybe there's, well, because now I'm seeing these sort of like little splashes of colors being like fireflies all around you. That's how it's coming through. There's a song called Fireflies by Owl City. Okay, sorry, I have to look up the lyrics 1 second. I'd like to make myself believe that planet Earth turns slowly. It's hard to say that I'd rather stay awake when I'm asleep because everything is never as it seems. So, okay, maybe, because maybe there's something where it's like, preferring to stay asleep. That's how it's coming through, Libra. Maybe there's something where it feels like, there's like so much that's keeping you awake, and it's like you just want to go to sleep. So maybe there's something where it's like you're feeling really busy or, frazzled is the word that I heard, that there's like so much keeping you awake. That could be anxiety as well. There may be this energy of like there's so much keeping you awake. That's how it's coming through. And so maybe that's part of the Firefly energy. Maybe maybe, but I feel like that's a positive thing. It's very high vibrational, this Firefly, but it's fleeting. So it's kind of coming through as being like, something about this energy maybe feels like, it may be causing anxiety because it's kind of feeling like it's like you don't want to miss it. It's kind of coming through as this fear of missing out, like feeling like you don't have enough time, or that like there's just too many things to do, or too much. Is it possible to have too much inspiration? That's how it's feeling, where it's just like it's keeping you up at night with all the things that you want to do. And it might be to the point where it might feel overwhelming, maybe, to like have so many different options, or like so much. And the guidance is coming through as being like, just take it one step at a time. Take it one step at a time. Try to have fun with it, with the dolphin. It's kind of like, there are so many fireflies. It's coming through with like 10,000 fireflies surrounding you. It's like, just pick one. It doesn't matter which one it is. Just pick one and start working with that energy. Whatever is like shining most brightly to you, it's like there's going to be opportunities to work towards it. It's like, but you just have to reach out and grab one. That's how it feels. You got to start somewhere. And perhaps for a little while, it might be like just picking the closest, the lowest hanging fruit, right? The one that's easiest to get to. And then from there you climb upwards, right? Like, don't get ahead of yourself either, because that could also cause anxiety if like you're trying too hard to jump ahead. It's like, just keep climbing. That's how it's feeling. This will be a learning curve, is how it's coming through. Okay, so you have Sky, Wind, Sun as your first card. Okay. Your essence is a service to the world. Your spirit overflows with joy and happiness, love, and wisdom. Do not hoard these energies for yourself. They are meant to be shared. Your essence enhances other people's lives by just being in their presence. There is nothing you have to do, and there is nothing you have to say. It is simply about sharing the energy that authentically radiates from your heart and from your spirit. Your energy is like a spark that activates inspiration and positivity in other people. And that is why you carry this medicine, because the world needs this gift, this radiant mirror you hold within you that transmits the message, I see you, I hear you, my power is your power, look at how powerful you are. Okay, Libra, because now it's kind of feeling like, sorry, Libra, I had to let my dog out of the room. Okay, so it's kind of coming through as being like you're being asked, Libra, to share your light. I actually feel like there's something about, I do feel that this is part of your energy here, the mouse, but I also feel that the firefly is also part of your energy, which is interesting because they're both small. They're both small energies, but the difference between this sort of because that's where the humility is coming through. This mouse keeps itself small by choosing sort of like things that are easy, nothing too challenging, that kind of thing. That's an energy of keeping oneself small. It's not humble. It's about not seeing your light. the Firefly is an energy where it's like, even though they are small, they light up a space, right? They provide light in the darkness. So there's something about, I feel like maybe Libra, there's this feeling of like you're afraid to shine is actually how it's coming through. Like this feeling of, because the mouse can kind of come through with this like Virgo energy where it's kind of like, I see this as being sort of like Virgo energy can be sort of like focused on like being in the background, like just sort of like doing things that other people might not pick up on. It's like keeping to the background, that kind of thing, like focused on a lot of details that other people wouldn't notice but are really important to a Virgo, right? That's sort of how it's coming through. Maybe you're dealing with a Virgo in some way, but it's kind of like this energy of like someone who does a lot of work behind the scenes, but it isn't seen by others. And I feel like maybe that's part of the thing that Spirit is trying to show you about like being in the spotlight in some way. This Firefly energy though is coming through with like, this is something that you need to learn, because it's not quite at the state where it's like long lasting, right? It's kind of, it's fleeting. It can't sustain for a long time is how it's coming through. So maybe there's something there about like learning how to sustain an energy for a longer period of time. And it's something about like your essence, your light that is wanting to be seen, that the universe is wanting you to shine. Because that song is still in my head about like the 10,000 fireflies, right? It's kind of coming through as being like a murmuration of starlings, where it's like tons and tons of birds, small birds, combine into sort of like this bigger entity, right? So it's kind of like one firefly on its own is not that much to light up a room, but imagine if there was a room full of 10,000 fireflies. A collection of fleeting energies creating a much bigger whole that would be quite a spectacle to witness. I feel like there's something about that. It's wanting to reassure you that small energies can have a big impact. I feel like there's a little bit of this feeling of like wanting something to be a big impact when maybe that's not the most sustainable energy to be in. It's because it's kind of coming through as being like like I'm kind of getting like this chain reaction energy, right? Like because this card is coming through the sun, where it's like the sun, of course, is a huge force of energy. But if you break it down into sort of the components, it's one chain reaction happening over and over again, right? It's like one atom bumps into another atom, which causes that atom to split and bump into other atoms, and it's just a huge chain reaction. So I'm seeing it like that. Maybe that's what you're afraid of, like, because it kind of feels like there's this feeling of like maybe avoiding a chain like maybe that's it. It's like not getting enough momentum to make something sustainable, right? It's like not getting enough momentum. Maybe that's part of the fear the fear might be momentum or something moving really quickly that maybe you don't feel ready for. Being empty so that the wind of spirit can breathe through you. That's the teachability card, the hollow bone. And the first card you have out is wind, right? The hollow wing bone of an eagle is a flute for the shamans. The appearance of the hollow bone invites you to become empty of your notions of who you are, to check your ego at the door, and to know that this is not about you. Relinquish your need to be right and to express an opinion, as this will not change anything right now. You're being called to practice humility. Hollow yourself out and hear the wind blow through you and play like a flute. Play you like a flute. You will learn the language of the squall and the storm and understand the message in the summer breeze. There is an important communication waiting for you. Humility is the swiftest path for you to become like hollow bone. Drop all notions and titles that bolster your ego. Eliminate the doer and allow things to happen of their own accord. Remember that you can accomplish most anything if you are willing to let someone else take credit for it. Hollow Bone has come to caution you to believe only 50% of what others think and only 10% of what you think. Trust your experience, not what you have read in sacred books or holy texts. This will allow you to turn apparent danger into opportunity. Remember that you are an insignificant grain of sand in the grand scheme of life and as important as the brightest sun. So maybe there is something here, Libra, about doing something in the background. Maybe you are feeling inspired by someone or something with the Firefly. Okay, I'm going to get more cards. You have 2 cards that add to the number 10, 46 and 28. Okay, interesting. And then the number 10 again is coming out. This is a difficult card. Fire, wildfire, sun. Fire, ancestor, fire, sun. This card talks about like a burned bridge. Maybe there's something about conflict here, Libra, that you're not wanting to engage in. It's kind of like, I feel like maybe that's challenging your ego. Some sort of conflict is challenging your ego, and the universe is saying like, it's not about you. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Because I feel like there's something about, like, maybe you're actually being asked to do something that doesn't feel like yours. Or that it's not your, like, because this card, I'm going to read this card. Okay, so it says, your ancestors are asking you to complete what they began on behalf of your bloodline. They have passed down many gifts through your lineage. Gifts of spirits and gifts of connection. In addition to all the wonderful qualities that your family line embodies. Now they are asking for your support. Your life is not simply for you and you alone. You are being asked to pick up where your ancestors left off and to align the energies in support of their karmic completion. They left before they could finish their work here. You're being asked to pick up the baton and to complete that work for them. Meditate upon the fire, fortified with all the powers and the gifts the ancestors bestowed upon you, and ask how you can be of service to them. Okay, this is where I feel like maybe there's a bit of an ego challenge that's coming in for you with this, especially with this card here, where it's kind of like maybe you're being asked to complete some sort of karmic cycle that did not start with you. That's how it's coming through. You were not the cause of this karmic cycle to begin. you didn't, like, it's not yours. That's how it's feeling. But the universe is saying it's not about you. It's not about you as an individual. It's about, like, this has to be done for a greater collective or a greater purpose, or for others. It's going to have a positive impact for others, even though you weren't the one to cause the problem in the beginning, right? It's kind of like, it's almost like there might even be anger or resentment or frustration because you're being asked to take on a burden that does not belong to you. Like, it's like, you didn't cause this problem. You weren't the one to do the wrongdoing, but somehow the karmic responsibility is coming to you to complete a cycle. I don't know why. I don't know why that is, Libra. And I feel like it's coming through as being like, this is part of perhaps a gift of yours. Perhaps there's some sort of gift of yours to be able to transmute darkness to light. That's how this Firefly is coming through. Like, it's feeling kind of like it's gonna keep you up at night if you don't do this. That's how it's feeling. It's like, because now so there is a strong Virgo kind of energy coming through here. So maybe you have Virgo somewhere else in your chart. Doesn't have to be, but it's just coming through with this feeling of, like, having a list to do. The universe has given you a list is actually how it's coming through, and asking you to complete it, but it's like things that are for other people. It's actually how it's feeling, in order to, like, learn certain lessons that have to do with the Firefly. It could also be this is another person, the Firefly, where it's like, maybe there's somebody around you or multiple people around you where it's like, you're this mouse. You're this mouse sort of going up and picking all the fireflies, right? It's kind of like, and then, like, putting them in, like their own, I'm hesitant to say glass jar because that sort of feels like they're trapped, but it's more so like in a place where they can shine brightly, because it's kind of coming through as being like, okay, I'm getting kind of this energy of like Wall-E from the Pixar movie, where it's like, but instead of picking up trash, right, it's kind of like you're taking the fireflies and giving them a space to shine. That's how it's looking to me, Libra. You're actually coming through as being like a caretaker of sorts for firefly energy. So it feels kind of like a bigger collective. Maybe this could be working with children in some way, the Firefly, because it's kind of like nurturing the spark in others, especially with children, but it doesn't have to be necessarily. But just pay attention to anger and resentment within yourself, especially if it feels kind of like you're taking on energies that are not necessarily yours, or you're doing things that are I don't know. It just kind of feels like, just trust the process. Trust the process. You're being asked to complete something on behalf of another person is actually how it's coming through, like a karmic responsibility. Or if it's not quite a karmic responsibility. It feels more like a karmic correction. You're being asked to correct something that somebody else made a mistake in. You did not cause that mistake, but you're being asked to correct it. Because it's almost like this is actually kind of what you're stepping into. I feel like this is a situation where there's been a lot of hurt and anger. And it's like you're being asked to step into that position now. Because it's imagine like there's been like conflict within a workplace, right? It's kind of like you're going in to like help fix that dynamic or something like that. So it kind of comes through as being like you would have to deal with like a situation that has a lot of pain and hurt. You weren't the one to cause it though. It's just kind of like you're coming in to like clean up that kind of energy, or you're coming in to restore something to its proper state. It's like to pick up where someone else left off, and the left off is this. Fire, volcano, sun. You have all of your cards are sun cards today so far. But that's really interesting. So this feels very much like a masculine energy focus for you, like your actions, how you give to others, how you give in general. Okay, so this card talks about playing small, like don't play small, right? That's how it's feeling to me, Libra, which is really interesting. I'm going to read this one. There's a whole world inside of you that is pulsing and throbbing and aching for expression. What are you waiting for? Release the limitations that are holding you back from expressing the fullness of your majesty and your uniqueness. Give yourself permission to be the empowered leader that you are, without submission, guilt, or shame. You didn't come to this planet to dim your light or quiet your voice or be an obedient little sheep. Just because the people surrounding you are playing small doesn't mean you're supposed to follow them. You, my dear, are meant to show them a better way, a more authentic way, a more expressed way. Lead by example. Let your creativity explode like a great and mighty volcano of love and beauty and magic. Release what is wanting to come forth and claim your role as a creator. Let this burst of creativity erupt and inspire others to do the same. I feel like there is something that you're like, you're being asked to like take something on that I feel like would be really, really rewarding for you, or really fulfilling in some way. But it's like you're too focused on like other people's limitations of you, or like how you might be perceived, or like there maybe even be a bit of fear about this energy. Maybe there's somebody that you're afraid to like confront, or I feel like there's also a little bit of like competition energy that's coming through, that I feel like maybe you don't want to engage in that energy, like not wanting to engage in a competition with someone. Not because you're afraid to lose, Libra, but because of the potential negative energy that might be sent your way if you do engage in this competition. That's kind of how it's coming through. Like you don't want to outshine anybody, or even like the risk of that, right? Like you don't want to shine too brightly is just how it's coming through. You don't want to be the center of attention. You don't want others to sort of see how bright you are, especially if there's like a dark room, right? That kind of thing. You don't want to be the only thing that's shining in the room. But you have 4 sun cards out so far. It's like, I don't think you can stop this, Libra. I also don't think you can help it. This is part of your authenticity as well. This Firefly energy. The number 10 is coming through very strongly for you in many ways. It feels like the completion of like a major cycle. And then you have this card, Fire, Tribal Fire, Moon, which is talking about speaking authentically from the heart, and promoting stories or inspirational words of unity. So I feel like there is something about, like, I feel like you're going into an environment, or you are in an environment where you are being asked to shine, but it's almost like there's someone there who you're like not afraid, but you don't want to like step on anyone's toes. You don't want to like overstep is actually how it's coming through. But it's like you have actually been put there to correct something is actually how it's feeling. So there may be someone who it's like, you don't want to correct this person, or you don't want to like, it's feeling almost like a burden that you have to do something that feels uncomfortable to you, which feels kind of like calling out somebody else's behavior that's not correct, is just how it's coming through in whatever way that is. And in doing so, there may be anger, there may be that kind of like energy directed towards you. But I feel like there's a way that you can do this, Libra, where it's like, it's going to promote unity, right? Because I feel like what's happening right now is that there's like this sort of anger or resentment being directed towards you, perhaps because you're sort of there. I feel like whatever it is that you're, it's happening right now, you're in it, is actually how it feels. But you're hesitant perhaps to sort of take the next step that is needed. Perhaps because of this energy, right? Like you're playing a bit small at the moment, Libra. It's not a judgment. Just something to be aware of, that maybe you're playing a bit small at the moment. Like it's almost like allowing others to underestimate you. That's how it's coming through. Like allowing other people to underestimate you, or to like purposely choose things that are easy, that are not challenging, that are not going to challenge you, because of, whatever this is. It may actually be because of another person. Not that this other person is competitive, or I don't know, maybe they are. Maybe there's somebody around you who is competitive and you don't want to engage in that competition that has nothing to do with the work that you're doing, right? It's kind of like, if you turn up the volume on this ability of yours, right? Or if you turn up the light of whatever this is for you, it's almost like this person's attention would be drawn to you, and you don't want that. That's how it's feeling. So you're like playing small. That's how it feels. Because you don't want that person's attention on you for whatever reason. Because it feels like this could be something where there has been a burned bridge, or that you're fearful of burning that bridge. Because it's like, I don't know what this is. It may be that you're just like, maybe you're dealing with someone with a bit of a temper, and it's like, if you turn up the volume, it's like this would enrage this person. Maybe you're aware of that, or maybe that's something that you're afraid of. I would pay no attention to them, Libra. It has nothing to do with I feel like it's like that's part of your ego as well, to like play it small, right? To like not allow the fullness of your light, your ability to come through because of fear that another person, if this is a specific person or just in general, a general response of like negative energy being focused on you. That's how it's feeling. Water, ocean, sun. Wow, this is a very interesting card. Okay, I'm definitely going to read that. There's another sun card, right? Like you have all of the sun cards and then this one moon card, which is kind of coming through with being like telling stories by the fire, right? Warmth and comfort. I actually feel like you're being asked to step into this role of the firefly. Like, the only source of light in a dark space. That's how it's coming through. Anger is not light. Sometimes anger is necessary, but I feel like there's a fear of somebody else's anger. Okay. I'm gonna read this one. You did not come to this planet to suffer, my love. You came here to sing and laugh, to play and love and create. Nothing awakens magic and possibility quite like joy does. Heartfelt joy is expansive and infectious. The more joy you embody, the more joy you create, and the more joy you spread among your tribe. This is how we uplift the world, by filling our own cups and vibrating joy out into the world, while bringing beautiful, life-enhancing experiences into our lives, which create more pleasure and more ease. Joy opens up doorways of possibility that move mountains and manifest miracles. What brings you joy? Do more of that. Lots more. Okay. Okay, Libra, I feel like maybe you're even like holding back your own joy. Are you holding back your own joy because you're afraid of somebody else's response to that? Don't do that. Don't do that. Just like keep focusing on what it is that you want to bring more of into this world, and it's joy, right? There's been a lot of energies of joy for Libra readings recently. Like focus on joy, focus, because that's part of your power. Joy and like this like dolphin healer energy. I feel like you're going to be healing others and yourself through joy. You're going to be healing others through joy. But what they have gone through is this energy: anger, resentment, separation, hurt, heartache. That's what you're working with. And this is where it's coming through as being like, you're coming through as like this source of joy to heal and correct this karmic energy that you did not start, but somebody else left behind. This mess is just how it's coming through, and you're healing it and cleansing it and restoring it with joy. Okay, Libra, I'm gonna leave it there. If this reading resonated with you, please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.